Hey people of VC, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder. Got another contest entry video for you this time. Metal Mickey is having a 100 subs contest. Just checked his channel, he's up to 140 plus at the moment, so subscribers are ticking up nicely. Mike, um, I really like Mike's channel. I think I was one of his early subscribers. Enjoy supporting his channel, enjoy watching his videos. He kind of gives something a little bit different. He certainly shares his opinions on records, whether or records or albums, whether good or bad. He's exclusively a CD guy these days, a CD guy. But that doesn't take away from it's all music, and it's music that I enjoy watching, and I enjoy hearing his opinion, even though I don't necessarily agree with it all the time. But that's what's great about watching these videos and commenting and interacting with you guys out there. So Mike asked, I think there's 5 questions in all, and there's different parts. The first one was so that the theme running through this, I think, was kind of money and value. Mike was saying that some people seem to think that it's a bit of a taboo subject talking about the value of records, but at the end of the day, we all buy our records, and I guess if you're not ashamed to with how much you spent, and you're spending and you're buying things within your budget, then there's no harm, and especially if you enjoy doing it. So Mike suggested that he wanted to see our top 3 most valuable albums based that on Discogs. I had a look on Discogs, and I thought if I looked at the maximum amount these albums went for, it was kind of crazy, because I know the versions that I've got wouldn't go for those money. So there's things like Ozzy Osbourne, Talk of the Devil, Kiss, Alive, and one other, but they were overinflated in the selling. They'd all been either they were a mint sealed Kiss Alive, which the one I've got is VG at best. The Aussie album had been it was signed in a mint condition, so it kind of skewed the values a bit. I found a lot of the max values on Discogs did that. There would be 1 or 2 that would be outliers. So I've gone for a different approach. I sorted my collection of Discogs on the median amount, and then most of my records are usually in the better than medium quality, shall we say. So that was kind of interesting to see how that came about. And what I found is that if I sorted it on medium, then things like the minimum and the maximum were a little bit more steady and relative to that medium amount. So what have I got? First one is one I've shown recently in a couple of videos and competitions and things as well, is Edge of the World by Wolf. So this averages on Discogs at the moment £43.18. It's been sold as high as 61, but even the minimum, which generally means that the cover is trashed and the vinyl's trashed, goes for £12. I picked this up for £15 in a local record shop, and it's worth more than the 43 that the average price goes, I would say. So that was a good return on investment. Next one is I've not shown this one yet, but I just picked this up last week. It's obviously Venom Black Metal. It's a first pressing. It didn't come with the poster or lyric sheet. That's what it didn't come with. Vinyl's in really good condition. Very little crackling and sound on it, but there's this creasing and edge wear, although not you can still read the spine and everything, but the cover's not in the best condition, so probably VG at best. Now this one averages £40, £40.37. Can be sold up to £70, and the minimum in trash state, I guess, is £12.27. So again, I paid £15 for this, and I think if I was to sell it on Discogs now, I'd more than double my money. Third one, original pressing, Music for Nations, Master of Puppets by Metallica. averages at £33.35 on Discogs. Just trying to see how much I paid for actually. Let's have a look. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. So I paid £9 for this a couple of years ago now, and yeah, I would get 3 or 4 times the amount of that in the. It's in the vinyl's in near mint condition, and the cover is not far off that, and this has been sold up to 56, 65, minimum 20. £20 and £10. I generally look to buy cheap. I don't spend a massive amount on records. I have a few that you can consider sort of rarities. I've had some that I've picked up for, you know, a few pounds, and they're maybe worth £40. But generally, the best bargains I get will be off eBay when people don't really know what they're selling, or nobody else seems to pick up on it. Or in the past, I've talked about Angel Witch as well. I picked that up for about £12 because there was a spelling mistake, and that goes for £30–40 on Discogs. So that was the first question. I think I've answered why I pay for them and why I got them cheaper. Just right place, right time, I think, for those. Right, you asked favourite packaging. Now I don't buy stuff for the packaging. I've never been swayed to buy something because it comes in a box, or because it has anything special about it. So I've picked out a couple of things that are different from a normal album release. First one has been shown a number of times. I'm not going to get out the packaging, but that is Twisted Sisters Come Out and Play with a workable pop-up Dee Snider under the manhole cover. And the other one, a bit more of a modern one. So this is Elder Law, and the album cover it's got a cutaway front, and basically each of the inner sleeves have different scenes on, so you can choose what the album cover looks like. Some cracking artwork on here. The sheet there, and the other album, the other inner sleeve. So yeah, I could swap that over, and amazingly I have a different cover, which all looks great when it's on the shelf like that and you can't see it anyway. But yeah, so I don't go in for fancy packaging, so that's a bit of a dull answer. Regret buying. I don't have too many I've regretted buying. I picked one out because I bought it. I should have known, really. I mean, just look at that cover. I have the first Headpins album is fantastic. This is their third. This is not fantastic. It cost me $4, so I didn't break the bank. I did a video about when I picked this up a few months back when I was out in Atlanta working, and one of my colleagues, I didn't even tell her that I collected records or stuff. She must have gleaned it off Facebook or something, and she took me around to a couple of record shops around Atlanta. It was pissing down with rain, and I couldn't find anything, and I kind of felt obliged to buy a couple of things, just to show that, you know, it wasn't a wasted trip. And that was the 2 or 3 items I picked up. I could well do without in my collection. So as and when I get to the point where I need to thin out my collection, that will be probably top of the list to move on to a new home. And anything I regret selling. I've never sold a CD or an album. I've given some things away, VCLT, but I've not regretted those. They're often duplicates or things that I found that I don't really want, but I knew other people, the person that I was sending it to, would dig. The only thing that I have given away that I probably should have kept I didn't even give it away. It was a copy of Iron Maiden Book of Souls on CD, and you've got that, Mike. Although we did do a very fair trade. I've got it on vinyl, but there's something about the Maiden stuff that I'm a little bit of a completist, and I kind of wish I kept that on CD, and I will probably end up buying again. So yeah, the answer to that question is I regret giving that CD to you. No, not that I don't want you to have it, but from my own personal OCD around my collection. Right, there you go. My answers to your question. Great competition, Mike. Wish you every success with your channel. Stay miserable. Cheers. I'm back. I forgot a question. That question was, what is the most I have spent on a record ever? That was fairly recently. It's up in the Iron Maiden, the recent reissues box set, so it's too much hassle getting it down. But Rock in Rio, 3LP live live record. I picked it up for it was $37.99 when I picked it up, and that's the most expensive. That's the most expensive thing I've ever bought music wise. It's now on Amazon for £35.99. So I'm already it's already worth less than I paid for it. So bugger.